Hey guys, welcome to the Wednesday's Fat Loss Hump Day. Coach Kayla and I are here today. We're going to talk about metabolic flexibility. It's where everybody needs to get to with regards to their metabolism. I think a lot of people are a little bit confused as to what it's all about. So we're going to decipher all the information, break it down for you today, and hopefully this gives you the tools to get there. Coach K.
So in short, what metabolic flexibility is when your body uses whatever fuel is readily available. So whether it be dietary fat, stored fat, glucose, which is sugar, and then glycogen, which is stored sugar. So if you think about pre-industrial times, so without restaurants and grocery stores, our ancestors went through periods of lack of food and abundancy. So their metabolic flexibility allowed them to go through these periods with lack of food without suffering too much.
Yeah. So a lot of times, we're saying, well, what exactly sets it off? And we talk about the standard American diet, high inflammatory food. So I think Coach K's been talking in the last couple of weeks.
So I covered gluten, we covered corn, soy, sometimes dairy for certain people. That's why we always recommend having it organic. People who have metabolic disorders, so like insulin resistance, people on certain medications, antibiotics, birth control, all these
stress,
things, and even things like endocrine disruptors. So chemicals that are in your shampoos and your creams can.
Did you mention refined sugars?
Oh no, I didn't mention that.
Okay, so there's also the refined sugars, which is definitely a big one. So maybe break it down. What exactly is insulin resistance for everybody?
So basically, insulin resistance when you ingest carbs and your body doesn't know what to do with it. It can't absorb it and assimilate it. So when you have these constant surges during the day of carbohydrates, your body doesn't know what to do with it. So.
Yeah, so a lot of times we talk how do you react to what you're ingesting? So, some people have a hard time with fat, and now we're talking about primarily sugars, but at the end of the day, we want to get to a place where your body, no matter what you're ingesting, quality-wise, make sure it's good quality, but whether it's fats, carbs, that your body knows what to do with it, and it can be very efficient. So to probably have the most efficient engine as possible. That's where we want to get to. So how do we get there?
So there's different things you can do. Actually, you know what we should do? We should cover about how do you know if you're not metabolically flexible.
Okay, go ahead. You got it. Let's go,
cover
Coach.
How do you know if you're not metabolically flexible? So for someone who's very low energy, poor sleep quality, can't digest your food, or you're more bloated and have more indigestion more often than not. Someone who isn't satiated after eating, you tend to gain weight easily, have a hard time losing it. So things like that could actually mean you're metabolically, I guess you could say, you need a bit of a TLC to help you with that.
Yeah, we'll say inflexible.
Yeah,
I know there's two things that always got to me. So in the summer, we're very busy here, and it used to be brain fog because I would start my first client 6 o'clock in the morning, and by 10 o'clock, I was starting to fade out because I was looking for my next meal because my sugar was crashing. So my body didn't know how to react to that. So then it was by 12 o'clock on my next break, then I'm gorging food down, and then next thing you know, I want to fall asleep because now my body didn't know how to deal with all that I just put in. So for myself, I went keto, and that helped in my case, and I'm not saying everybody should, but there's keto, there's low carb, there's many different approaches that we can use to get there. Another thing that used to bother me is the stress in the high volume times. I used to be going home, and I would be driving home, I'd look down and it looked like I swallowed a watermelon from all the bloating. So my cortisol levels were through the roof, and that's how my body was reacting. So there's different tools, whether it be low carb diet. Some people do better with a keto diet. It's maybe a little more aggressive, but it tends to get you there as well. We talk about intermittent fasting. I think we've talked about that before. What are you, other tools?
I actually did a lot more gut healing protocols, so I introduced more collagen, more bone broth. I actually use L-glutamine. There's different companies out there, so if you guys have any questions, just ask us. Also, sleep and hydration is huge. I think people overlook the smallest and the most important things. Sleep is huge for that, and so is water intake. Obviously, exercising is super important too. So you got to kind of add all these things in slowly and see what works best for you, and kind of keep tally of it to see what's working and what's not, what causes you some indigestion, and so on and so forth. So you got to find the tools that work best for you.
That's why when Kayla talks to a lot of clients, she has a ton of clients with nutrition coaching, lifestyle coaching, and the questionnaire is maybe 4 or 5 pages because we really have to break it down. I know often I get a lot of people, Don, I want to get leaner. In the summer, I got guys that want to get a little more jacked as athletes. They want to get ready for their upcoming season. And the first place we go is sleep. Right? Because sleep is going to help you with your metabolic flexibility. It's going to help reset your engine and try to get your engine as efficient as possible. So guys, that's what metabolic flexibility is. When you ingest, whether it be fats, whether it be sugars, whatever you're ingesting, as long as it's quality, how does your body deal with it? Can it deal with it as efficiently as possible? And use that fuel source, whether it's 10 calories or 500 calories, can it use those calories as efficient as possible? Does that pretty much break it down?
That's pretty much it.
If you guys got any more questions, talk to Coach K. I'm here to help you, but all I'm going to do is give you her number. So if you have any questions, talk to Coach K, and we'll catch you next Wednesday, guys. Thank you.